Hello, I'm live here for an hour or so. I'm going to be doing readings for anyone that would like. Just move that over here. Happy New Year to anyone I haven't seen for a while. It was a long and busy year last year, wasn't it? Huge amount happened, and sort of shaken us all up a little bit, I would say. But it's good to be here. I like to get on here a couple of times a month if I can, and read for you guys. And so I use. Let me just first of all say what I use and why. So this is the Robin Wood deck here, and I've been using this deck for like 15 years. I always find that it's got something in the imagery that I haven't seen before, something that can speak to the human component of what's going on, because that's what divinatory tools are for, to anchor the to bridge, I would say, bridge both sides of the human and spirit, and get tangible and useful guidance for what's going on. The reason why I read, and I still read, and I will for for the foreseeable future, is oh, I should say as well, I'm actually giving discounts on readings for this week. I've got about 4 or 5 spaces available. Those are for longer readings, right? For like an hour, and to work through something that's going on, or ask all the questions that are in your head, or just unload. That's the point of a longer reading, right? But I've found in my life I don't always have like lots and lots and lots of questions. I maybe have 1 or 2 that are taking up a disproportionate amount of time. And so that's why I get on here, because some of you may have like just 1 or 2 questions, and we'll just work through it here and just do it, and so on. All right, so I may as well just get to work here. Hello, Sandy. Happy New Year to you. Let me read your question. Read your question. All right. Is there a possibility that the man you're attracted to a previous job about 3 years ago will come back into your life? I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading. Forgive me. I always felt that this was a missed opportunity to connect. And while I've been recovering from an autoimmune disease, I've had a lot of time to think about that again. Got you. All right, let's have a look. Yes, I do understand. The people we feel connected to, and so on. Let's just do that. Sun's a little bright here. The people we feel connected to, doesn't leave us, and we are all so connected to one another, aren't we? So here we go. Let's have a look. Okay, so yes, I do feel that's the case. Sandy. And I'm going to give you some advice on that, if I may, and it's actually advice from my own experience, which is you don't have to do anything. I've had experiences in life where where I've been brought to someone, away from them, to them again, away from. As you well know, I live in the United States of America. I'm from England, okay, and I'll still connect with people in England like not a day had passed. And what I'm saying is, that whatever the higher power is that makes it all happen, brings people together, brings them apart, brings people together again. So this is not something you need to run after. This is not something you need to make happen. the time and situation for the two of you to meet for whatever reason that is, I do feel will happen. I do feel will happen. I don't know about immediately this week, it's in your field, you know. I've got some aircrafts outside, fighter jets go over here. So I live in Star Wars, I tell you. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Whoopsie, pressed the wrong thing. Right, Catherine, will the house number 81 go up for sale this year? Yeah, I'm getting a yes on that. I don't see it happening before June, but I'm getting a yes on that. Yeah. Let's get some music on here. Okay. Denise, I just need to expand your question here. What is the general guidance message for you for the next few weeks? Okay. Noreen, I'm going to get to your question next. Should have plenty of time here. Would you think of a question, please, if you're on there, Noreen? Okay. General guidance message for you for the next few weeks. Right. So, Denise, I almost want to say to you, less is more. You're saying the next few weeks. Well, if we try and get more tangible with that, what are we looking at? Up to mid-February, Valentine's Day, whatever, right? I was just answering Sandy's question there, in the frame of things that are absolutely for us are supposed to come to us. And I'm sort of saying that, but not here. I want to say two things. One is really be feeling for the guidance that you're getting. We're always getting guidance, but maybe we're not hearing, not listening. I want to say not listening, but you are getting steered at the moment. All right. Sometimes, and please don't take this as in any offense or anything like that, but sometimes we're walking with our fingers in our ears, and all we need to do is take fingers out. And if I'm not saying everyone hears verbally guidance, I don't, right? I don't. Me, like a lot of people, get guidance in a more of a somatic, sentient way, and I think you're similar to that. And yet you are getting it. Now, if you don't detect your guidance in that way, guidance will speak through our external environment. But I'm just saying it's there, it's participating with you, and be aware of that. I think it will make you feel better, right? Even if that's the only reason. The second thing is, I'm going to the third thing, actually, before the second thing. The third thing is your field your energy field is actually being adjusted at the moment. A lot of people's are, because we're going through so much change as a collective of people. You can't rush that, just like you can't rush building or constructing a building. You know, you put up the scaffolding, you build the building. It's not built until it's built. And the same is true of our energy fields. And let that happen and think about, what do we eat through our mouths, through our eyes, through our ears, as that's happening, to help that along. You know, get fresh air, get exercise, and so on. And our energy fields find their way to the optimum for us at this time. Then the second of the third thing is for you, Denise, is to let things take their time. All right. So are you hearing a theme in all of this about not rushing, not making things happen faster than they're supposed to happen? It's not necessarily about you even. It's equally about family, community, friends, colleagues, that circle, right? And what they're going through, because we have to keep pace with that. And you might say, oh, no, I don't. Why should I have to? You don't have to. But sometimes we feel like we show up ahead of a situation. Like, why isn't everyone here? Why isn't everyone ready? Okay. And we just have to wait for people to catch up sometimes. It's not a better or a worse thing, but a very normal part of the reality, I would say, of being in an interconnected vibrational web of human existence. Some people are ahead of us, some people are behind us, and we adjust. Okay. Oh, Peggy. Right, I haven't seen Noreen give a specific question, so I'm going to go to you, Peggy. Peggy, I wasn't aware of that, and I'm so sorry to hear that. But let's you're asking about divorce. Ultimately, yes. Ultimately, yes, it will. I see at the moment that whether it's one or both of you are still in that kind of phase. And I remember being in it actually this time 5 years ago. I remember that feeling very well. But you know, and I use the word "but" very intentionally, but I do see under it all, you know, the two of you friends, right? And there is an appropriate way to treat one another, and ultimately you are going to get there, right? But just at the moment you're in both, I think both of you in that stage. But I do see it changing. Yeah. Right. Let's go on. All right, so I don't see any other questions right now. I probably should have sort of put a text reminder out. So I'll just pull a card for you, Noreen. And you know, what she said here, I don't even know if Noreen's still on, but she said, I need something and I'm not sure what. You know, that question, I need something and I'm not sure what, it's actually such a good question, because it releases the interference, it releases the impedance, and says, yeah, I need something, I don't know what it is, and you become open to it. It's actually a very good question, a very good question to start journaling. Just saying. Let's have a look for you. Okay. Unsurprisingly, there's quite a lot here, and I think, which is also funny because I don't even know if she's on listening to this answer. That's quite funny. But anyway, I think this will be useful for anyone listening. When you're in that space of I need something, but I don't know what I need, right? There's an interference. What's often happening in your energy field is there is a buildup. And if you think about just like the drain pipes on your house, and you imagine there's a big buildup of water, but it only can get through the drain pipes. It's there can be a blockage, or there can be spillage or something like that. And so when there's a big buildup, sometimes we have to release a lot. Sometimes there's a lot that we're about to get done. And that can all feel the same. And if we don't move it, we can feel stuck, we can feel depressed even, right? And then the family of other emotions that come with that. But what I'm looking at here is what are you needing, Noreen? You're needing a little bit of a release, you're needing to be listened to, you're needing a bit of fun, okay? And that's going to get it moving. Often it's not complicated, often, right? Sometimes it's complicated, right? Sometimes it's biochemical and beyond the spec of what we're talking about here. But often, for most of us, it's quite simple if we'll just take a few steps. Right. Let's keep going here. All right. Actually, so I don't see any other questions on, but so someone asked a question before I got on. They said, if things are not going well, is it a bad sign? And that's such a good question, because we want to pigeonhole discernment to things are going well, good. Things are going badly, bad. But it's not as simple as that. And there's this sort of space in the middle where discernment exists. Sometimes the flow is bad, but we feel we have to keep going. Okay, so it is simple. It actually is very simple. You've got the flow of events. Is something going well, or is it not? You've got the flow of events, and then you've got your intuition, not your ego, but your intuition. Because your ego wants. Your intuition is quiet, silent, propels itself, and doesn't, and is not loud, but doesn't stop either. And so, if the flow is not so good, and your intuition is telling you no, that is the answer, right? That's quite simply the answer. If the flow is not good, and your intuition is telling you to continue to keep going, you keep going, you work through it, and it is that simple. That simple. See, we have a question here. I'm on YouTube here as well, trying to be all technical. I'm not sure I think your name is Maya. Hello, Joshua. What can I do to be in service? It feels like I'm falling short of others while navigating the day-to-day and month-to-month. Okay, that's a beautiful question. That's a beautiful question. There's a couple of different ways I'm gonna take that. But let me answer specifically for you, Maya, and then there's something else that comes to mind as well. Okay. So, still answer your question about being in service, Maya. You probably want to hear me say something like, um, yeah, um, do this sort of thing, or volunteer, or something active. You're probably expecting me to say that, and I'm not going to say that. That's not the answer I have for you here. The answer I have for you here, it's a bit more tangential. It's around feeling feelings, letting feelings move, understanding what is the nature of your own path. You know how sometimes we want to just project onto other people because it's easier and life makes more sense when we use other people as a reference point, but that's not what I'm seeing here. You want to be of service. It's a beautiful question. And so your point of focus and your reference has to be what is your service. Okay, so you need a little bit of rest here, and I'm not saying necessarily physical rest. It's more about mental rest. I'm also seeing you're holding on to some sadness, and that might sound passive or vacuous what I'm saying, but think about it. If we don't have a handle on our own emotions and that regulation, then we create a whole set of other events to get around it, to circumnavigate it. We can create messes that way. We can upset people. We can do the literal opposite of being in service, where we create consequences for ourselves and other people. And so the answer I'm getting here, Maya, is all about you. It's about being in service to yourself. About being in service to yourself rather before going and doing so for other people. That is the secondary thing. Yeah. So we have some more questions here. Let me go on. Where are we? Okay, Shirley. Shirley, you're going through some tough times, so you relieve soon. Yes, I do. I do get that for you. And it's very soon. It's very soon. As we like to say in our vernacular, it's always darkest before dawn, and that can switch like a light bulb. It can switch very quickly, and you go, wow. I can't believe I was feeling how I was feeling, but yes, when we're in it, we're in it. So yes, I do see relief coming soon. That makes it sound like someone's choosing. No, it doesn't come, right? It doesn't come. You work through. Let's get some agency here. You work through, you move, clear, release, transmute, insert as appropriate, and then you feel yourself again. That's what it really means. Michelle. Intuition. Michelle Smith, intuition on your future, you say. I've got a lovely read in front of me here, Michelle. along the lines of life is what you make it. Now let's break that down. Life's what you make it. Um, they say when you're given lemons, make lemonade. Okay, so the essence of that is when something sour comes your way, use it and create something sweet from that. That's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing here. Um, there are trillions of examples of this. People have challenging things happen. They write songs and sell 1 million records. Now, that's not what I'm saying. It's for you. It's to use what life brings to you. As you do that, and as you get used to that, there's good things coming. The key for you is to be aware of when you feel victimized, victimhood, or like a victim. I'm using my words very intentionally. When you feel like that, I did not call you that. I'm not going to call you that. You aren't that. I'm saying when you feel that. I feel that sometimes. I think we all do. Okay, that's the signal. That's the flag to turn it round. So something in your mind go, okay, I can use this. I don't know how I can use this, but I can use this in some way. And that's what begins to turn it round. Earlier on, someone asked the question, I don't know what I need, but I need something. Very powerful question. Very, very powerful question. That will get something moving, even if you're not at the answer yet. So become like, study the life that you've been given, Michelle. That's what I want to say. There's maybe a lot. There's maybe a lot around you, opportunity-wise, that you're not seeing as opportunity. Yeah. And I'm giving you that answer because you've asked an extremely open question. You've asked about the future, not next few weeks, not this month. You've asked the future. So big question, big answer. Tavia, good to hear from you. You're recovering from cancer surgery yesterday. Okay, gosh, is that the end of it? Are we done now? Just gonna do this. Okay. Right. Sorry, that took me a minute. So I'm getting a yes on that. There is still healing to do because of course you just had the surgery yesterday. There's a lot of healing from that to do. But yes, you are through it. I did have to check. That's what took me a minute. I saw something and I was confused by it, but I see that you have moved through that. You have graduated it. You have graduated the reason, the need, the experience of it. And what a lot there. Gosh. Well, I so appreciate you getting on here today, and that I know that, and I feel a bit out of touch with people. It's been a very busy few months for me. Melissa. Should I take the new job if it is offered to me? I feel hesitant about that. They're asking about a new job. I feel hesitant about that, honestly. But I know you want an answer. And Melissa, I'm leaning towards a no here. In fact, I was leaning towards a no a minute ago, but I wanted to dig further. I'm not liking what I'm seeing here. It looks like too much. The money doesn't look particularly good either. And there's a bit more, so I'm not loving this for you. Emily, downloaded dating apps again. I still don't feel that I'm going to meet my boyfriend or person there. Any advice for relationships this year? I do see you're going to meet, let's call it the person. Let's just go there, right? I do see you going, because I see you're there, right? You're there. So I just need to pause. Because you're asking, you're not just asking that, you're asking about an action. No, it's not going to be on the dating apps, right? What I'd suggest you do with the dating apps, because what do they say? Patience is what you do in the meantime. And you downloaded the apps because you didn't feel patient. Not criticism. I understand. So go onto the apps and just start looking at men, because what you're looking to call to yourself some attributes in a physical person, and just look at the people that come to your awareness. You might think, and I'm not saying you do or don't, you might think that you're looking for the 6 foot, 6 figures, and whatever these people say these days. You're actually looking for a particular composite of attributes: personality, the way someone carries themselves, their presence, their energy. And yes, of course, what they have and what they do is a part of that. But you'll be with someone because of how they make you feel, and that is what you're looking for. Okay. So all of that to say, sure, enjoy the dating apps, but I don't suggest that you instigate. Just want to see I didn't miss anyone out. Melanie, are there career possibility? Are there career possibility in my artistic endeavor? Right. Right. So, Melanie, if my answer is no to what you've just asked, that's not an indictment on your skill, ability, your competence, and so on. From what I'm seeing here, I have never seen anything that you've created, but what I'm seeing here, it's beautiful. It's absolutely magnificent. You have asked specifically about career with regard to it, and I get a pretty clear no on that. Like, I don't think you should invest yourself in career in this part of your life. Think you should very much keep it active, very much keep it active. I haven't brought up many cards today, but I'll bring up this one, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and that is about, well, yes, about seasons and cycles, but also the act of keeping things moving, and I keep going back to this question earlier on this session, and someone said, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm feeling something. I don't know what I need, but I need something. There's me, and I'll go and write. I'm always writing, just keep moving that way. I don't create music enough, but that helps me too. I don't draw or paint enough, but that helps me too. So think of painting as a tangential way of supporting absolutely every area of your life, and does support your career, but not as directly as you think would probably want it to. There's something about our world that says, well, hey, I can make something, and if I can make it, I should sell it. It's like a tribute to that. It's like, that's how we validate the value. We acknowledge this is worth something, but it's already worth something because it makes us feel a certain way, which turns us into a certain type of person, which makes things happen. So it's about, if I'm saying no, if I'm offering you a no to career, it's not that you don't create beautiful things, but the trajectory of your life doesn't seem to involve it in that way. Okay. I think we are there. So I have to share this one though. So there's something trending at the moment. So this lovely idea about overthinking the positive, and the essence of it is, if we're thinking a lot anyway, if we're overthinking anyway, think about positive things, right? It's all a bit vanilla until you start using it. And so the mind is wired to find answers. The mind is wired to create resolution, okay? And to reconcile things. So if you use a question like what if, which all like marketing people do, and they do that because the mind cannot help but answer that question. So if you're inclined to be pessimistic, you do the opposite and you give the mind questions like, what if it works well? What if they like me? What if I'm happy? What if things go really, really well, and continue in that way? And your mind will answer that question. It cannot help but do it. And it's like hijacking the nervous system and the regulatory system in a way that we'd actually want to happen. And that is actually using overthinking in the positive in a practical way. Just give that a try. Let's see. Okay. All right. So it looks like we are, unless I'm just looking at YouTube right now, unless we have any other questions on YouTube, I'm going to go. I did answer a question earlier, but I don't see it here. So, okay, I'll do this again probably in a couple of weeks. I'm just letting you know that we're on right now that I am giving discounts on my private readings, which will be over the phone, or healing work by distance. I'm giving 25% off for this week, and that's going to be on hour-long sessions. So reach out to me if you would like to do that. So I've got a couple of spaces left. But if you're still on with me, take a breath. Let's take a breath together. And I just want to wish you a wonderful week. A lot going on in the world here right now. Wonderful week. I just want to support you, offer you to be open to support for anything you need. It's just about asking. You have to ask. We ask and we receive. We ask and we receive. Have a beautiful week, everyone. I'm just going to stay on here and answer this question, and then I'll go. But you're welcome to stay on as I do this. So Valerie has asked, waiting on housing to get us a bigger home, and I'm told soon. Do you get a feeling if it's in the next few weeks? Okay, I'll just answer this question, and then I'll head out. So Valerie, I'm getting that we're looking a bit closer to March, April, right? So you said the next few weeks. What are we into February at that point? I'm getting closer to March, April. So yes, that's the next few weeks, isn't it? But probably a few more weeks than you'd like it to. I don't see it being any longer than that, though. Yeah, I'm fairly confident about March here. I'm not so much seeing it before then. So, all right. So thank you all, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. I will be doing sound healing here on Facebook on Saturday morning, if you'd like to join me for that. And for now, I will see you again soon.